Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Natasha Feinberg from Rhode Island College. I'm an associate professor of elementary education and direct the Masters of Education in Reading program. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you two new resource tools that have been created to support educator preparation programs and professional development providers. These tools address the need to align coursework with the science of reading. The creation of these tools came through a collaborative effort of leaders from CEDAR, the Collaboration of Effective Educator Development, Accountability, and Reform, the Rhode Island Department of Education, Rhode Island College, the University of Rhode Island, and the Center for Leadership and Educational Equity. These leaders came together as the Literacy Dyslexia Work Group, whose goal was to address the 2019 Right to Read Act legislation in Rhode Island. We know that many of you are addressing current research and legislation in your states also. While our work grew out of the needs we had in Rhode Island, these tools can be used nationwide. The first tool is the Rhode Island Science of Reading and Structured Literacy Syllabi Refinement tool. The easiest way to find this tool is to Google Rhode Island Science of Reading and Structured Literacy Syllabi Refinement Tool. You will find the PDF linked to many websites, including the websites of CEDAR, the Rhode Island Department of Education, the Reading League, and Reading Rockets. When you open up this PDF, you will see that on pages 4 and 5, there is a 3-step process of how to use this document. At Rhode Island College, we piloted these tools and found them invaluable as we revised our syllabi to ensure that our teacher candidates were provided systematic and explicit literacy instruction. First, we invited to the table everyone who was teaching a literacy course in our scope and sequence. Using a shared Google folder, we uploaded a copy of the refinement tool and a copy of all the current syllabi in our literacy sequence. We then used the matrix to assess how we were currently teaching literacy. So let's take a look at an example. Here's the Literacy Syllabi Refinement tool. I'm going to scroll through until you get to the point where it shows you how you'll be scoring your particular syllabi. You're going to use the Syllabi Refinement Matrix to rate the current syllabi that you have. You will have a competency that is given, and then you'll put an X under level 0, 1, 2, or 3 according to these descriptors. Are there no evidence of this component all the way up to they have one item in level 1, one item in level 2, plus at least one of the following, which is a tutoring, small group, or whole class experience. So let's take a look at how this is laid out. At the top, you have the Rhode Island competencies, but that's specific to Rhode Island. We've made this applicable to you at a national level by crosswalking these elements with other standards. So we've looked at the CEDAR components, we've looked at Mount St. Joseph's competencies, and we've looked at the International Dyslexia Association's knowledge and practice standards. And those are all in different colors underneath the Rhode Island competency. So here we're looking at the theoretical models, including the simple view of reading, Scarborough's rope, 4-part processor, and Aries phases. You would take your syllabi and you would put an X under how much you're covering that and the ways in which you are covering those particular theoretical models. Now, looking down below, we can see how CEDAR has covered that, Mount St. Joseph, and the International Dyslexia Association here too, and their particular requirements. So as I scroll through here, you're going to see the other competencies that we address. Let's see. Here's one: permanent word storage and orthographic mapping. So if you carry this on and you go, I'm only at a level 1 for orthographic mapping, well, that's where we get to our next tool. The Rhode Island Science of Reading and Structured Literacy Resource Bank for Syllabi Refinement. This PDF is a resource bank, a list of materials that are aligned to the Syllabi Refinement tool. So if you need to add a greater emphasis on orthographic mapping in your classes, you can open up this document, scroll to the area you need to strengthen, and choose one or more of the suggestions on this list. The Rhode Island Literacy Dyslexia Work Group was led by Stephanie Stoller of Mount St. Joseph in the construction of this list. And honestly, it's spectacular. Here you can find up-to-date books, articles, reports, videos, webinars, podcasts, and more. They are categorized to match the skills in the refinement tool, and this makes revising your current syllabi so much easier. Finally, you add missing elements or details to areas that are not explicitly explained in the syllabi, ensuring that your literacy instruction is cohesive and provides sufficient depth so that graduates are able to implement structured literacy practices in their classrooms. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief introduction to these two tools that promote cross-disciplinary discussion and enhance instruction to emphasize the science of reading and structured literacy.